I've lived alone in my apartment for a little over a year. It's nothing special, just a small place on the third floor of an old brick building with creaky floors and paper-thin walls. But it's quiet and the rent is cheap. I thought I was lucky. That changed last Thursday night. I had just come home from work, tired and half-soaked from the rain, and was unlocking my door when I noticed something odd. The doormat was crooked. That might not sound like much, but I always straighten it when I leave. It's a habit. I'm kind of obsessive like that. I brushed it off. Maybe I kicked it accidentally this morning. But when I stepped inside, I paused. My mail, junk flyers, and bills I left on the table was gone. I stood there, staring at the empty spot, then looked around. Nothing else seemed out of place. My TV was still there. My laptop. Even the dishes I hadn't done yet were right where I left them. Still, I had this sick, tight feeling in my gut, like the air had changed, like someone had been here. I checked the locks, front door, back window, everything was locked. I even tried to convince myself maybe I moved the mail without realizing. But later that night, when I went to bed, I couldn't shake the feeling. Around 3 a.m., I woke up needing water. The hallway was dark. I didn't turn on the lights. I knew the path to the kitchen by heart. As I passed the front door, I froze. The lock was flipped open. I know I locked it. I stood there, heart thumping, staring at the door in the dark. And then I heard it. A click, coming from inside the apartment. I turned and grabbed the nearest thing I could use as a weapon, my umbrella, then switched on the hallway light. Nothing. Silence. I checked the bedroom, the bathroom, the kitchen. No one. The place was empty. But the closet door in the hall was slightly ajar. I didn't remember leaving it open. I gripped the umbrella and yanked the door open. Just coats and shoes. Nothing else. I was losing my mind. I triple-locked the door and barely slept the rest of the night. The next day, I installed a door wedge and taped a piece of string across the hallway closet. That way, I'd know if it had been opened. That night, I checked the door wedge. Still in place. The string was intact. I went to bed exhausted. At 5:13 a.m., I was jolted awake by the sound of my microwave beeping. I don't use it in the morning. Ever. I crept into the kitchen. The microwave light was on. Time flashing, midnight. I hadn't used it the night before. Then I noticed something on the counter. A glass of water. Full. I didn't get it. I didn't pour it. That's when I knew I wasn't alone. I called the police. They arrived 20 minutes later and did a sweep. Nothing. No sign of forced entry. No one in the apartment. They even checked the attic crawl space above my bathroom. Empty. But then one officer asked me a question that chilled me. Is it possible someone has a copy of your key? I hadn't thought about that. I moved in last March. I never changed the locks. The landlord gave me a single key. No one else should have access. The officer advised me to change the locks immediately. I did. Bought a new deadbolt, and for extra measure, a camera peephole that sends alerts to my phone. That night, I finally slept better. Until 2:46 a.m. I woke up to a ding from my phone. Motion detected at front door. I opened the app. The video feed was shaky from the low light, but I saw a figure standing at the door. Tall, thin, wearing a hoodie. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a set of keys. He tried one, then another. All of them failed. After a moment, he leaned toward the camera and smiled. I swear to God, I recognized that face. He was the building maintenance guy, the one who showed me the apartment when I first moved in. I hadn't seen him in months. He told me back then he only covered temporary shifts. Said he'd be around sometimes. I reported the video to the police the next day. They're still investigating. But I packed my things that morning and never went back. Now, even months later, I sleep with a chair against the door. And every time I hear keys jingling in public, I feel my chest tighten. Because someone, somewhere, had keys to my home and only used them when I was asleep.